Hey everyone, my name is Nick Manning and I write Flutter apps in my free time. So I like to teach programming and I've been writing Flutter apps for about 3 years now and coding for about 20 years. So I have a lot to share and I am going to be working on a new course and I'm just going to share very casually what I'm going to cover in that course, the concepts you'll learn. And with that, let's just dive right in. Okay, really excited to start here. This is the app that we're going to be writing in Flutter. It's called Steady Calendar. It's a habit tracker with a calendar component where you can visually see every time, all your habits, right? Every time you complete a habit for that day, such as eating healthy or studying a language. Here you see call mom. You see here wake up at 6 a.m. Really any kind of habit you want to keep up. You mark it in your calendar. You just tap the day of the month that you complete that task. And then after a while, you can visually see how well you're keeping up with your habits. So we're going to rewrite this in Flutter. It used to be in the App Store for iOS, and now I'm going to make a very maintainable version in Flutter for Android and iOS. So here are some screenshots as I've been showing you, and you can also do other things like set your goals for the habit, personalize each habit. So there's a color theme to each habit that you have. There's a custom background you can choose from. And yeah, that's really it. You have a list of habits here. Here's the background selection screen. And here's the goal screen where you can see how much you're completing your goal for that month. So you set monthly goals. And yeah, that's the app. So let's dive into the kind of course content I'm probably going to cover. And then we'll dive into the functionality that we're going to implement. So here's the topics of the course. This is a rough draft. It's not final by any means. This is the list of core skills you're going to learn. And I'll just go through them very quickly, not in any particular order of importance. This is very rough, but there's hard skills and soft skills. So anything that's a soft skill is something that is important to understand, but is not related to Flutter or programming exclusively, but app development in general. So first off, how do we cache large images with a CDN? Content distribution network. There's defining information architecture of the app, system architecture, how to create a very, very simple design in Figma. Figma is just a UI tool that a lot of people use. Setting up a very simple product page. Product pages are very, very important when you create apps so that people can see what the app is all about. And the app stores require you to have a page that shows like basic information about the app, especially the iOS App Store. And we're going to do that with very, very simple HTML. We're going to set up a backend with supabase, which is a up-and-coming Firebase alternative that makes it really easy to implement authentication and persistence layer there. I'm not probably going to write any backend in Dart, but if we need to, we can. It's to be determined, right? How do we create a very basic Flutter boilerplate project, right? Very simple code. How do you get into it? You don't need to really know a lot about coding to get started with that. Some soft skills walkthrough, like best practices and tips before we start even coding. Let's say basically a UI view, so we can show like create, read, update, delete features using supabase, right? Google authentication. So the way people are going to use this app and save their data is by signing in with Google, and I'm going to cover that. And let's see if there's anything else that stands out. So we're going to add ads in the app so that people can use the app for free, but if they want to pay for it, it'll have the ads removed. I think that's a great way to monetize the app a bit, and I think that's pretty realistic. A lot of apps need to be monetized somehow, and I think that's a fundamental skill. So we're going to be covering ads. I believe we're going to be covering in-app purchases as well. Maybe you want to purchase custom backgrounds that are outside of the default. We're going to do that as well. working with fonts and icons, and developing an introduction walkthrough slider, and getting notifications when something crashes or there's an error. And that's very, very important. That's just the topic of observability. And it's not Flutter related, but it's something very essential to submitting an app, and managing an app. And, just additional content, which is like automatically sending out app updates to friends and family with CI/CD. So when you build your app, you push it to your source control system, and it will build the app and it will send it out as a alpha beta version before it's in the App Store. And finally, we're going to be submitting it to the App Store. So this is going to be not a production ready app. It's going to be a production app. It's going to be something that is a live app in the App Store, and that's maintained, and the code will be public. And yeah, so that's it. I'm going to post more updates. Look in the description below for how to get those updates. But that's just like a very rough overview on what I'm going to be covering. And again, this list might change, so stay tuned for those updates. And one last thing, folks, subscribe to the channel if you're interested in more of this type of content. I'm going to be covering more realistic coding videos. And if you're interested in that, again, please subscribe, and thanks for watching.